Okay. Maybe the first thing that we'll have you do is just tell us your name. So say, hi, I'm Tracy, and I've been a coach for this many years, or maybe tell us a little bit about why you got into coaching.
Okay. Well, my name is Tracy, and I have actually been a coach since 2004, and I have been using the Leadership Circle profile since 2015, so almost 10 years. And why did I get into coaching? Lots of reasons. My background is in organizational development, and I also have an MSW, and just decided that I didn't want to be doing therapeutic work, that I really thought coaching would be a better fit for me. And I love helping people really use their energy in ways that is sustainable and helps them create the impact that they want to create.
Great. That's great. Talk to us a little bit about BRITE. Why did you decide to go and become accredited in BRITE?
Well, I had a client who I've worked with a number of teams over the years, but in particular, I have a client who has expressed interest in doing some work with their leadership team. And I know that they've had a number of challenges over, the last few years. And I've used the LCP just hundreds of times, and I use it often with teams and get a great result. But when BRITE came out, at first I wasn't really interested. And then over time, as I learned just a little bit about it, it started to seem really intriguing. And, I questioned whether I should go to certification. Well, not certification, accreditation, because the tool is promoted as you don't have to go through any sort of accreditation to use this. So at first I thought, okay, well, I'll just use it. And then because a colleague of mine was also very interested in going, we decided that it wasn't so expensive that it was prohibitive, and we figured we could really leverage it, and we did. So
great. That's fantastic. When you came to accreditation and you kind of went through the process, what were maybe 2 or 3 things that stood out to you about that experience and about BRITE and made you go, I hadn't really thought about coaching a team or helping a team progress in this way? What did that look like?
Well, I won't say I was skeptical, because I wasn't skeptical, but I was really wondering whether it would be worth the investment. If you can use this without going to accreditation, why go to accreditation? And, Lonnie and Joseph pretty much kind of blew that way in the first 2 hours, right? Because they are so incredible, and the tool is really so incredible. I guess for me, being a user and a lover of the Leadership Circle and kind of the elegance of the tool and the depth of the tool, the research behind it, Bob's brilliance, I didn't think anything could match it. Mm-hmm. And the more we learned about BRITE, the more I realized that the model, the light bulb, the different kind of elements, the whole bit it's up to par with everything else that Leadership Circle does. And so that made it so worthwhile. And the depth that we got with it. So understanding the depth of the tool much more, and then the way in which we learned about how to really maximize its usefulness for a team, and how it could support, I would say, giving some structure to going into work with a team that's different, very different from the LCP and a collective report or a group report or the collective CLA.
That's great. I appreciate that. That's the depth portion gets talked about a lot. Obviously with the LCP, as you know, but even with BRITE, you're right. It's, man, that thing goes deep. And every time I go through it, I learn something new.
Pretty spectacular.
Yeah. And of course, I feel that way, obviously, about the LCP. And I mean, anytime I talk to Bob, like within the first 5 minutes, I'm like, okay, the world I knew no longer exists. It's fine. So as you've kind of incorporated BRITE into, you've been accredited in it, how do you plan to incorporate BRITE into your practice? What is it going to do for you to help you build your practice?
Well, I think that it's going to be a great selling point for work with teams. And I think that, the price point is really good. And so the difference, I would hate to say that I'm giving up any of the leadership circle opportunities, but I can see BRITE as being a great way to get started with the team. I think it really can cut through things, and I could really see partnering BRITE. And this is what we, kind of my partner and I have planned for our first engagement, is to start with BRITE and then to follow it up with individual LCPs. And so I think it opens up a whole new arena with team effectiveness. That I don't know. I didn't use any team diagnostics prior. I just used the leadership circle and kind of brought that in. And so for me, it opens up a whole new world.
That's great. And that's perfect. I think that's kind of what we're hopeful for at Leadership Circle is as you kind of, as you end up getting accredited in BRITE and maybe you work with some members of the team around the LCP, is to be able to go to them and say, look, this is just one part of making sure that you are as effective a leader as possible. You've got to figure out how the team dynamic works. And we've got an assessment that ties right in line with the LCP. So it gives you a chance to address both of those things at the same time. So that's you hit the nail on the head, exactly what we're hoping for. So terrific.
I'm so glad. It's, I don't know, senior teams are facing so many struggles in this obviously complex and hard to anticipate world. And so having a tool that can really support them, to me, is so important.
Agreed. The more tools we can give leadership to be effective and good and helpful, better things are for everybody. So
yeah.